Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius. Today's the 4th of October. 4th of October, 2023. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. Oh, and GGDC 365WB. Hi. Hi, nice to you to join in. Let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest, and I'll disappear here from that little left corner for a bit, and I'll be back in a bit. Anonuser 84293, good morning to you too. Thank you for joining in. I'll be right back. Okay, so now then, let's before we jump into the charts, as always, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. So feel free to visit us here on easymarkets.com, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We'll be happy to assist. So without further ado, let's jump into the chart. So this, as always, as some of you already know, this is normally the list that I go through on the right. So yes, if you have an instrument in mind, if it's not on this list, then you can drop me a message there in the live chat, and I'll try to pick up on that one if I know what to talk about that one. What to talk about it. So if I know something about it, then I'll pick up on that one. But if I don't, then sorry. Look, Nikkei 225, beautiful decline, and I kept on talking about this for quite a while already. So I said to you in the beginning of this week, last week as well, that I said to you that 31,700 zone, this was what I was keeping a close eye on in order to kind of consider the downside. So basically I needed to see a drop below this hurdle in order to aim for the 31,243 tick, and then we reached that area, and then I said to you my next target is the 200-day EMA tick. We cleared it. We cleared all that, and now we are trading below the 200-day EMA on my daily chart here. So that means that potentially more bears could join in. And last time we were trading below that 200-day EMA was back here in March, mid-March this year. But then we kind of reversed back up quickly. However, if we analyze it from the perspective of the EMAs, which I have here, the 50, the 100, and the 200-day EMA, so when we dropped back in May here below this, below all the EMAs here, we were actually previously before that, all the 50 and the 100 were below each other. So in a way, now we crossed it, and then we started, pushing higher. So we kind of got that. In general, now, given that we had quite an extended move to the upside, and you can see that the shift here that we got from the 50 and the 100-day EMA, and like how kind of widely they have dispersed from each other. So, and now the fact that we are falling below the 200-day EMA, maybe, just maybe, this could give us an indication that, everything's kind of falling apart, and we could be seeing some more selling. However, don't rush into these things, guys. At the moment, yes, we fell below all the EMAs. Okay, that's a bearish indication. However, maybe it will drift a little bit more to the downside. Maybe it will find support somewhere around here. Let me just put this on the chart. Let me adjust this. I don't like that one. That's my colleague here changing these, but okay, he likes it this way, I like it that way. Okay, that's absolutely fine. So we adjust, no problem in terms of changing it. So look, this level, this 30,400 zone is kind of acting now as a potential good, or could be acting as a good potential good area of support. Now, if we clear that, of course, then yes, we could go further south. Now, in in this case, what I really want to mark here on Nikkei 225 is the current lowest point of this year. I think it's this one. Yep, there we go. The 25,600 zone. Look how far we have traveled. And I mean, if you want to measure this, I mean, in terms of like from the start of this year and all the way to the peak, you'll see that we made around 33% gain. Honestly, that's quite good. So now, what are we getting? I think it's time to draw my favorite Fibonacci. And now we can see that we've cleared the 38.2, and we are could potentially be on our way towards testing the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. But again, let's not rush into things. Yes, we are looking quite, everything looks quite bearish here in general. Like I said, Nikkei did follow the suit of the US indices yesterday. So let's see what's going to happen further. But at the moment, yes, everything's looking quite bearish. Everybody's talking about the bond yields, the U.S. bond yields. I mean, those are going out of, skyrocketing, especially the 10-year one. You can see here on my chart, the 30-year one as well. So, all of them are actually, going higher. This is not good for this. Of course, this is not good for the stocks. I mean, the only way for this to come down again is for the interest rates to go lower. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon, but I'll get to that. I'll get to U.S. indices, and I'll talk about the U.S. interest rates in a bit. But coming back to Nikkei, look, from the technical perspective, I think that there could be some more downside, especially if we clear this 30,400 zone. If we do that, then yes, my next target is the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci, and then I'll take it from there. For the upside, I need to see a push at least back above the 200-day EMA in order for me to get comfortable with at least a larger correction to the upside, aiming potentially towards this downside resistance line. China 50 index, boom, there we go. Okay, look, I said it in the beginning of this week. China is chilling this week. They're off, and they're just so the futures here on the China 50 are just following nicely what's happening in the world. And well, there we go. From the technical perspective, everything's working out perfectly. Look, I talked about this last week, and I think the week before that, and I was saying, like, wait for this one, wait for that drop. And there we go. We got the break here below my upside line. We got the clearance of these levels as well. So now it's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of opening the door for a possible move towards this 11,821. But of course, before that, we do have the psychological 12,000 mark itself. So yes, keep that one in mind for now. For the upside, well, guess what? I need to see at least a push back above this upside line, but I think, in my opinion, the better option would be somewhere from around here, on a break of this downside line, and then kind of, we could consider what's happening here. Okay, okay, it doesn't matter. So so a break of this downside line could potentially do the trick for a few more buyers, but looking at the way everything's shaping up, unless some job numbers, some U.S. job numbers kind of can bring the stock market back to life, but at the moment, I don't know. It is a difficult one. ASX 200, similar story. To be honest, not much to say here. We are drifting nicely to the downside. From the technical perspective, 6,951 is playing out nicely. I talked about this level. I said to you, if we clear it, my next target is somewhere around here near this 6,850 zone, and then we'll take it from there. So this is going to be my next target. Let's wait and see. For now, let's put it this way. In order for me to go higher, I think a break of this downside line is required, and if we get that, then yes, I will consider a move to the upside. But at the moment, I'm not getting that, so yeah, I'm leaning towards the downside for now. Dow Jones Industrial Average, so there we go, boom, yesterday, major sell-off in the Dow, and let me just double check which one was the biggest loser. Yeah, NASDAQ, NASDAQ was the biggest loser yesterday, so it held nicely, NASDAQ held nicely, the day before, but then kind of it surrendered yesterday to the sellers, and boom, we had a big sell-off. But I'll get to Nasdaq in a bit. Dow Jones, look, 33,450. We broke that. I talked about this, and I said to you that my next target then will be the 33,000. Okay, we reached that. Now I'm looking at this picture. I mean, I do have these potential targets right here. I don't know if we're going to actually reach those or not, but hey, this week, look, today, for example, on the economic calendar, guys, we do have the ADP and non-farm employment change. I mean, so the non-farm employment change number coming out today. So another thing some of you might have heard or not, but look, some people like to try to gauge the ADP with NFP, which is coming out this Friday. So yes, sometimes it does happen that they kind of ADP shows an increase, and then everybody's like, oh, NFP is going to be higher, and then NFP comes out higher. But that's honestly, that doesn't happen all the time. That's probably, I would say, even like 50-50, to be honest, even actually more towards the non-correlated side. But look, at the moment, yes, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this, because this week is in general, it's like job number data from the US. So yesterday, for example, we had the JOLTS job openings, which came with a massive surprise, honestly. Like the expectation was for an 8.8 million, came out at 8,800 million, but came out at 9.61. So okay, that was like, yeah, that's a major one. And of course the market, you would think that the market should kind of take it as a positive sign. In a way, yes, theoretically. But I think that the market is thinking the other way around, because they're thinking that, oh, the better the numbers, the more opportunity for the Fed to raise rates again. So I think that this is the rhetoric that everybody's running in their heads. So look, for now, I will say this way, that so far the downside scenario is working out nicely. I am, like I said, still leaning towards the downside, but slowly. But because, look, we found some good support around here near this 33,067. This says in the inside swing high of the 31st of May. Let's see if we can rebound from that. If we cannot, then if we break it, then yes, my next target is the 32,739 zone, somewhere around here, and then I'll take it from there. For the upside, looking, what I need here is actually, and this is where I need to adjust a few things. I need to remove this highlighted zone, no longer needed. I think I need to clean up around here a little bit. Yeah, something like that. So in order for me to go to the upside, I need to see a break of this steep downside resistance line drawn from the high of the 17th of September. If I get that, great, I'll go to the upside. At the moment, I'm not getting that, so I'm just observing the price action and cautiously leaning towards some lower levels. The S&P 500, similar story. Yes, we declined yesterday. I said to you that keep your eyes on the 200-day EMA. Yesterday we were stuck in here. I said that if we do drop and stay below it, then yes, I'll go lower towards my 4,262 tick. Happy about this one. And then now the question is, can we go further south? Can we go here somewhere? If we do stay below the 4,262, then yes, I will continue targeting the downside, where my next target is the 4,174. Look, in the beginning of this week, I said something which okay, maybe it still could be the game. It could be an idea or something, but like something like that. We might see big swings during the week, but it might stabilize getting closer to Friday. So basically kind of could go back to like, break even or something, or not the same level where it started the week. So in a way, what I'm kind of leaning to, maybe let's say today we could see maybe a bit of a correction or something like that, and then on Thursday going back up. But look, this is just an idea. I don't know. This is like, at the moment, I think that at the moment, I think I need to scrap that idea. Although I really, really like it, but sometimes when when you're really, really liking something and it's not, you can see that there are some indications that it could not work out. Then you have to drop the idea. I know it's sometimes it's painful, but or it's kind of hitting your ego. But this is trading. We have to leave our ego back in the toilet, So, look, you need to keep as rational, as calm, as cold-minded as possible. So, and this is what we're all trying to do. So, look, at this point, I will stick to my downside scenario in that case. And as long as we remain, for example, below this 4,262. If we somehow climb back up and stay above it, or even better, let me just grab a line. Or even better, if we somehow push back above the 4,277 zone right here, well, maybe, just maybe, we could. My previous plan could get back into the game. But let's not rush into things. Nasdaq. So yeah, the biggest loser yesterday, percentage wise. We've tested my territory, this 4,600 zone. So now I need to see a break below it. So look, with Nasdaq, it's not everything is clear. So yesterday I was saying that as long as we remain above the 100-day EMA and this 14,955 zone, then yes, I will stick to my upside scenario. But we fell below the 100-day EMA, so we drifted lower, and we tested my target right here, the 14,600 zone. So, and in order for me to go lower, a drop below this territory is required. The German index, DAX. So this one is on fire and to the downside, and yep, it's falling further. We remained below the 15,265. So this is what I said to you, that if we do stay below this, then yes, I will go further south. My next target is the psychological 15,000 mark. Let's see if we can reach that. It would be quite interesting to see that test, or maybe even the 14,957. And then we'll just kind of take it from there, guys. For the upside, if you're looking for some higher levels, now I know that I previously talked about this 15,600 zone, but I think that maybe, just maybe, if we climb back at least above the 15,265, we could consider a move back to the 200-day EMA. In terms of economic data today from Europe, we do have retail sales coming out. So yes, that's check out the economic calendar when that's coming out for you in Europe. But look, for now, the expectation is that there could be a bit of not an improvement, but the opposite, a bad moment, a slight decline in retail sales, let's put it this way. They're already in the minus, but even going further. So let's see, because it's interesting. The reason why I'm saying it's interesting, retail sales are going to be something that everybody's going to be watching, because we're going into holiday season already. So we need to keep an eye on that. We need to see how this year is going to perform. Something tells me that it's not going to be very good. Why? Because people are going to be saving money. They're not going to be overspending, going crazy like last year. I think this year is a little bit on the lower side. So, but again, time will show. Certainly, let's not rush all these things. But in a way, I'm thinking that, look, further declines here are possible. So let's pick up on that idea. And looking at the German index here. So yes. 15,000 mark here on the futures. On the cash, we already cleared, I think, the 15,000, but on the futures, yes, we're still above it. So let's keep an eye on that 15,000 mark. FTSE 100, boom, there we go. So far, so good. So everything's working out nicely. My level got reached, the 7,520. Then I said to you yesterday that if we do clear this one, then yes, I will go a little bit lower again. So far, so good. Look, there's not much to say here, to be honest. We are keeping an eye on some UK data, and yes, for now, I mean, the only thing that's coming out, I can see that there's composite PMIs and services PMIs are coming out today. from UK, so you can keep an eye on those tomorrow. Construction PMIs, yes, something to keep in mind, but not major. But at the moment, yes, I think it's kind of subject to global economy right now. US dollar, there we go. There we go. Now, with the US dollar, now given that we had already quite a decent up move, I think that there could be another like burst a little bit here. So maybe I have this level 107.15. I really like it, but I think that maybe we have already reached that. So for example, when I said to you on Monday that look, if we do pop and stay above this 106.54, I'm aiming for this 107.15. Well, we came very close to reaching that level, and we just kind of let's say came very close to it, and I think that that would be a success. So this is where I will take my profit and I'll be happy. So even though it didn't reach exactly that level, and I keep on saying that, look guys, it's never the exact level, it's always the area near that level, because if you think that you're the only one who's seeing this, well, guess what, there's probably a lot of more people out there who are seeing the same level, and that's why sometimes you get these crazy moments where you think that you're pretty clever and you're thinking about this perfect level and it's coming very close to it, like and then goes the opposite direction. So that's quite common, and that's why you don't have to be greedy and just take your profits maybe earlier, and then I think everything will be fine. So at this point, look, although I'm still leaning towards the upside, but the fact is that I'm a little bit on the cautious side, yes, and that's why, I mean, yes, I'm leaning still to the upside, but I do have this 107.15 level on my chart. But again, I want to see if we can break this level now. So if we can, okay, my next target is around here. Let me just grab a line, horizontal ray. There we go, the 107.90 zone. So yeah, that could be a nice good target, but for that one, I need to see a clearance of this barrier at the moment. I'm just taking it cautiously. For the downside, I need to see a break of the steep upside line. That's it. So simple as that. Nonuser 84293 makes sense. Makes sense exactly what? Because look, the comments are this comment section is a little bit lagging, so I have to admit that, because maybe I've already moved to something else. So could you just let me know what exactly what you mean? What exactly makes sense? So yeah, thank you for that. Again, but yeah, as I said, the comment sections are a little bit lagging, or maybe I've seen the comment a little bit later, so that's where the issue might arise. But coming back to commodities, gold, look at this beautiful thing. Honestly, yesterday I talked about this. I said to you that if we remain, and we did remain, yes, the beautiful false breakout right here, 1824, fantastic. And now, well, to be honest, I'm still targeting the downside. 1804, that's my next target, which is near the lowest point of, is this this year? No, wait, just a sec. Wait. Yeah, that's the lowest point of this year. That's going to be amazing to see, honestly. This is something that I'm really looking forward to. I want to see if we can clear this barrier, this 1804, or actually will we find strong support here? And if we do, maybe a bit of a rebound could be possible. So at the moment, I'm aiming for this territory because, like I said, it's way too attractive. Near this 1804 zone, I mean, it is just, like I said, what could happen, for example, we could drift heavily to the downside, pierce through this territory, create a false breakout, and then kind of shift back up and stay. And maybe next week, going into next week, we could go for that little correction to the upside. So in that case, this little fella here could continue pushing higher. So basically, if we are kind of approaching gold from that perspective. Silver, let's jump into silver. So far, so good. Again, the downside scenario is the main one.
Unnecessary. I was referring to the obvious levels not being properly reached, since people are targeting the same levels and start selling out before the price can enter there. Thank you for the session, by the way. Yeah, yeah, okay. I kind of thought that this is what you were referring to, but thank you. Yes, thank you for your comment. Exactly. Thank you for the confirmation as well, because this is exactly what I keep on saying to people. Like, don't aim. You have a level in your mind, aim for it. Yep, that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, maybe it will get reached, but like I said, never forget that you're not the only person in the field. You're not the only one. So, and yes, we do like these psychological levels. We as humans, we do like them. So, but also other institutions do know that as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And by the way, thank you very much, Sir, that you liked the session. So really appreciate that. Really appreciate the kind words. Silver. Let's come back to that one. Silver. So yes, so far so good. Look, we did correct a little bit higher, but I said to you yesterday that as long as we stay below this highlighted zone here, the lower one, which is between the 21.30 and the 21.47, if we stay below that, then yes, another decline here could be possible. So far, I'm considering that idea. Palladium, finally, boom, fantastic. I was talking about this one for quite a while now, a few months, I think. There we go. We've managed to clear that territory, this 1200 zone, and now the question is how far we'll go, lower here. Well, I don't know if my history, yeah, okay, my history allows that. So, look, we do have an interesting level somewhere around here. That's the low of the 30th of October of 2018. 1070 zone, something like that. Yeah. Also, we do have a little obstacle around here somewhere, the 1117, something like that. So look, a bunch of good levels, and could be a nice good target here. It's probably this is what I'm going to keep. I'll stick to. So as long as we remain below the lower side of this range, guys, I'm leaning towards the downside. If we climb back up above into this range, maybe this is where I need to kind of start considering some higher levels. If we do climb back inside this range, and yes, then I'll consider some higher levels within the range. Oil. Jumping into oil. So this one is finding very nice support near the 88 zone. So that's great. I talked a lot about that level, but I also talked about the 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci. So look, I'm not giving up on that one. If we do fall below the 88 zone, I am leaning towards my other upside line, this slightly more flat upside support line drawn from the low of the 28th of June. And like I said, yes, I'm also aiming for that 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci, which I have drawn here this way. And by the way, this is the retracement not from this, but actually it's like revisiting the old 38.2, which we visited a while ago. So this one is drawn, this Fibonacci is drawn from the high of the 14th of June to the low of the 3rd of May here. So basically this one, so we did already retrace the 50%, so now we're kind of drifting back down, and like I said, I'm keeping an eye on this 38.2. Why? Because it also nicely coincides with my 50-day EMA right here, shown as the red line. So good potential target. I'm aiming for that one. For the upside, if I want to go higher, I think I'm taking a very conservative approach here. First of all, I'm getting rid of this upside line, no longer needed. Maybe, just maybe, I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but look, I need to find something here. So maybe a break of this downside line could do the trick for a few more buyers. Let's wait and see. Maybe even a push above this little inside swing low here of at 90.36 could do the trick as well, because actually it also acted as a very nice area of resistance yesterday. So yeah, you know what? Exactly. This is what I'm going to stick to in order to consider a move to the upside. This 90.36, I need to see a break above it in order to go a little bit higher. Soybeans, something that you probably don't look at very often, but look, I do like these exotic commodities, or For some, they are exotic. For some, they're like just they're trading them on a daily basis. But I talked about this previously. I said to you that I need to see a drift below the 1,319 zone in order to go lower. Yes, my next target will be this 1,294 tick, and then the 1,270 tick. Fantastic. The lowest point of May got reached, and if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. Ooh, yes. This was the lowest point of the year, the previous lowest point of the year, of this year. And we managed to create a fantastic falls breakout. And look how well this played out here. And I need to put this highlighted zone right here, actually, because this is worth it. And this is something that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. If we clear it, well, guess what? We will go once again into, below zero. Well, we already went below zero actually for this year, but again, we didn't stay. We went, but we didn't stay. So it's like a 50-50 moment here. So that's why, again, I'll keep an eye on that 1,270 territory. If I get a clearance of that one, then yes, I will go lower. For the upside, break of this downside line is required for me. That's it. Bitcoin Cash. So we had a nice little retracement here. So look, previously when I said to you before that, look, I'm waiting for a breakout of this barrier in order to go higher. We did go higher. My target was the 249 first tick, and then the 259 not tick. Came very close to that. Okay, we actually, instead of that, we reached where's my ray? We reached this little territory right here. I think I should have seen this. Unfortunately, I think I was blinded and I didn't see that level. But I have to admit that, okay, that's fine. But look, it came very close. That's fine. So basically, this barrier provided fantastic resistance, 255 zone, and then from there we drifted back down. We are now resting kind of above this breakout level, the barrier here that I talked about. So this 225 zone. If we fall below this, I'll consider a larger correction to the downside because we do have this upside line drawn from the low of the 10th of June, which we could still test. But for me to get more comfortable with the downside, a drop below this upside line is required. So far, there is a chance still for the bulls to step in, maybe to go for like a rebound from here. But again, let's not rush into things. Let's wait and see. Ripple. Ripple is also flirting with the territory that I've marked here, this 0.55 zone. So I need to see a clearance of that one in order to go higher. So for now, all this is just, it's just like fun and games. I need to see, like I said, I need to see a breakthrough one of my territories here in order to go higher or lower. So for the upside, let me just actually mark this for our future reference. So this one right there, why is it so thick here? Okay, this is the highlighted thing here, and this. Okay, no, sorry, this is this. Okay, I see that one. That's the problem here. There we go. So look, I need to see a clearance of this whole territory here in order to go higher, and then I will aim for something around here near the 0.6363, maybe somewhere around here as well. So good potential targets, but again, let's not rush into things. Or actually before that, yes, I will aim for this little hurdle, the 0.5960 zone, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, as I said, a break of this upside line is required. Now let's jump into a few pairs. This is what I was waiting for. Just bear with me. I needed a little bit of a sip of tea. Spilled a little bit of tea on myself, but that's fine. It'll dry out. Anyway, so AUDUSD. So beautiful move here, a break of this lower side of the range. Look, we did break the range already earlier, right, last week. But we then climbed back up. So in a way, if I want to be very, very like supportive of my range idea here, then I will say I'll jump into a weekly chart, and I'll see that, hey, we had a false breakout, so it didn't count. So we stayed here on the weekly chart. So yeah, in a way, kind of yes. In a way, it does make sense. But on the daily chart, I think yes. it did not really make sense, but on the weekly it did. So, okay, sometimes you need to look at, you know, bigger time frames, because like I said, on the weekly it did make sense. It was still a range. So yes, we had a false breakout, but that's fine, still a valid range. And then today, this week we are breaking it. So in a way, I'm kind of leaning further south, to be honest. My next target is still the 0.6272 territory right here, marked by the low of the or should I say the lowest point of November of last year. Then I'll target the 0.6210, 0.6170. These are nice good levels here. By the way, the lowest point of this year, ignore that. I think that now I'm targeting the lowest point of 2022. Yes, we are. It seems like we could be on track reaching that. But for that, we need to reach the 0.6170. We can clear that, then yes, we could go further south. AUDJPY, well, guess what happened? There are speculations, there are rumors, and I don't know if this is true because I tried to find some info, but maybe I didn't research enough. But it seems that finally somebody intervened. Somebody by the name of BOJ, and to be more precise, Bank of Japan. So look, I kept on talking about this for quite a while now, and if you have stayed with me for, you know, if you watched my previous videos where I'll jump into USDJPY in a bit because that one's so I talked about this idea that said, look, I said that Bank of Japan needs to intervene. They did intervene last year in order to stabilize the yen because it went to 145 this year. I said, look, 145, everybody was watching that, and then we cleared it. And then I said, hey, you know what? Maybe this time they will say, hey, you know what? Let's go to 150. I'm talking about the USDJPY probably. I need to jump into that one. But anyway, and then you know, and then maybe then we will intervene. And I think that they have intervened. So looking at the picture here on AUDJPY, look at this beautiful thing. I'm just looking at the technical perspective. From the technical perspective, we broke the 94.54 territory. I spoke about this level yesterday. I said that in order for me to go lower towards my 92.696 zone, I mean, fantastic. I mean, just in one go, there we go. So we reached that, and now my question is, can we go further south? Well, to be honest, I'm still targeting. I would like to see another test of the 200-day EMA. That would be really spectacular, because I'm not targeting anything lower now. I think I need to kind of move my arrow up to here somewhere. So I'm going to be targeting this 93.59 zone first, and then the 200-day EMA. I'm not. We had a beautiful drop. That was way too quick. Maybe it will go a little bit lower. Maybe it will now stabilize. Maybe it will go, like I said, a little bit lower. Maybe we'll test this area, and then maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll get a little rebound or something like that. But at the moment, it is a little bit more towards the downside. NZDUSD. So, of course, yen. That's for sure. That's one problem. The other problem of this one declining heavily is RBNZ. As my title says, that it did the same thing as RBA. It didn't go for a rate hike. So it today delivered its interest rate, which came out at 5.5. Is that correct? Yeah, 5.5. So no hike. They are also taking the wait and see approach, which is, to be honest, which is logical. I mean, I cannot say anything else because they cannot go and say, hey, you know what, our inflation is showing still, you know, that it's way too high, and that's why we need to go for another rate hike. No, they know that inflation is high, but it's still further away from their target of 2%. But I think that they're not trying to kind of rush things. They want to see, you know, how inflation, will it actually continue going lower? And I think that central banks are doing this exactly this. They do want to go and raise rates more, but they cannot, because then they are kind of leaning towards a more of a market collapse. It's already declining, so they're kind of getting their results. So you know, if they're getting the results, so they probably are, like I said, are taking a pause right now and just seeing how it's going to go. Because as we know, the Fed is also, everybody's watching the Fed, you know, what they're going to do in November. I don't think that they're going to raise rates in November. They will probably raise rates in December here. But again, time will show. Coming back to NZDJPY, this is something that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on now. If we can rebound from this upside line, great, I'll go to the upside. If we cannot and we break this upside line, then yes, I will go to the downside. Simple as that. NZDUSD, again, this one declined, as I said, not only because of the stronger dollar, that's one issue, and of course because of the RBNZ keeping rates the same. So look, I've spoken about this and I said to you that I'm going to allow myself all this area right here in order to kind of to wait for the breakout that I need. So for the downside, I need to see a drop below the 0.5860 zone here. For the upside, I need to see a push above the 0.6049, and then we'll take it from there. CHF JPY. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but look, it's an interesting one, as you can see by the skewed chart here. So, but in general, this worked out. So we broke my upside line, we drifted lower, we tested my targets. My targets were here, this 161.30 and the 100-day EMA. So that's great. I need to look for new targets. First of all, I want to mark the low that was reached overnight. The 159.96, or in a way you can say the psychological 160 zone. So if we do fall below the 100-day EMA right here, then yes, I will consider a move further south. Look, of course, then we need to keep an eye on this 160 zone. If we clear that one, then yes, we could go for the 200-day EMA. But let's not rush into things. First of all, let's get rid of this upside line, and let's kind of start looking at this downside line drawn from the high of the 30th of August, because now this could be the one that could bring us more positivity if it gets broken. So in positivity, I mean that more bulls could join in here. So if you're looking for some upside here on the CHF JPY, then yes, a break of this downside line is required. USDJPY, there we go. Finally, I got to my one of my favorite ones, and honestly, I kept on talking about this, and look at this spectacular move on a wow. Look, I talked about this, and I said to you that if we do pop above the 149.93, this was the previous high. I'll still aim for that 150. We reached that 150. We reached the 150.16, found good resistance, and boom, we declined. So what's next? We declined, and actually we kind of this, if you had a pending sell here somewhere, let's say this 148.85, you can see that my target got reached, this 147.50. Actually, we also reached this, I think. Yeah, there we go. This is a beautiful test here. The 147.32. Fantastic. Good result. Good result. What's next? Well, next is this. That I think that I will still keep an eye on the 148.85 zone. That is still valid for me. Again, because again, this drop, yes, we pierced through it, but we quickly came back above this 148.85. So it's kind of showing that something that we need to keep an eye on. And if we continue to trade above the 148.85, maybe there could be a bit of a chance for a bit of a retracement back to the upside here towards that 150 zone again. But let's not rush into things. As I said, for me, the upside will come on the break of this 150.16, given the strong decline we already had. So that's why I would like to see a drop below the 148.85 in order to go lower. So all this area right here will be neutral one for me. I'm not touching it. I'm not doing anything with it, just because of what happened recently. So at the moment, yes, I'm being very careful. USDCHF. So let me just remove the Fibonacci, no longer needed. But look how well this territory, this highlighted zone played out. Fantastic. We had a bit of a false breakout, but then we still remained above the 0.9148 zone. And now the question is, can we drop again below this? But of course, that's maybe even not the main question. The main question, can we push and stay above the 0.9222 territory right here, which we are flirting with again? If we clear it, then yes, the next target is the 0.9317 or the 0.9342 levels right here, and then we'll take it from there. We do have this territory here, the 0.9440, good potential target. That's the, is that the highest point of this year? Yeah, that's the highest point of this year, 0.9440. Okay, let's see. But yeah, at the moment I'm watching this barrier here, and yes, let's take it from there, guys, because if it somehow holds, we could start seeing a range here, but I don't want to see a range. I want to see some breakouts. At the moment, I already got a few breakouts here, but they were all false. So I need to see a good one where the body of the daily candle stays above this barrier here, and then we could go higher. USDCAD, so there we go. So far so good. Yesterday I talked about this. I said that if we do clear and stay above the 1.3695 territory, I'll go higher. So far I'm going to stick to that. Honestly, I get it. We did have a strong move already, but unless it starts falling back below this downside line, yeah, I'm going to stick to the upside. But if it falls and stays below this 1.3695, then yes, a move lower could be possible here. GBPUSD so far, yes, I mean that there's nothing new here. I mean, it just continues to slide. My next target is the 1.2010 or the psychological 120 zone. So that's my target at the moment, and then I'll take it from there. If we clear it, well, guess what? This is where we are aiming for, the 1.18 and the 1.1841. So yes, look, I get it. Some of you who are holding a long position on this one, you're kind of thinking this way, that you want to cut your losses, but you're thinking maybe this is the bottom already, right? Maybe I'll cut my losses here, I'll close the position, and it will reverse, and it will reverse. And you know what? Most likely that's what's going to happen. Honestly, this is the rule that's like the screwing up the trader rule in a way. It's like, so it's not it's the market, right? I mean, everybody kind of sees it. And look, I've been in these situations myself a lot of times where you're in a position, you're thinking, no, come on, like, I mean, now this is the floor already. Like, I mean, if I'm going to close it, it's going to reverse. I'm not closing it, it's drifting lower. Then I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to close it. And then you're closing it, and then it reverses and it goes in your direction. The only thing is that the problem here is not that you were right. Well, okay, I mean, one of the issues here as well, that one thing is, yes, that you need to get rid of this I was right. No, you're in a way, everybody takes a different approach, but I take an approach that I'm not right, I got lucky. And it makes my mindset a little bit more, easy on me. So it's like my mind is then easy because I get wrong positions a lot of times. The only thing is that when I'm seeing that it's not working, you know what? I rather take the loss. And you can't imagine even how great it is to start over, and this is, like I said, and this is not only in life, but all but also in trading. So it's sometimes better to take, if you think that, for example, it's gonna go a little bit lower, or gonna close it here and then it's gonna reverse, I don't know, like, then you can close all your positions, then keep an eye on it, and then if you see that it's actually showing signs of reversal, go long. I mean, but this way you can play it out. So, but at the moment, guys, I mean, I think that there is still potential for some downside on this one. 120 zone, that's what I'm targeting. Maybe this 120.10, approximately around there, and then I'll take it from there. JPY, beautiful drop, so it worked out perfectly. I talked about this hurdle here, the 180.81. So yes, so far life is beautiful in this one. And I said to you that if we do drop and stay below it, I'm going to lean towards the downside. My next target is the 179.47 tick, but I'm going to lean to that one again. I'm going to aim for that one again, and I'm going to aim for the 178 zone as well, because that's something that got reached recently. So yeah, But so far, not much to say. I'm just leaning towards the downside. Euro Aussie, there we go. Hold up near the upper side of the falling channel. I talked about this pair yesterday, if you remember. So my question now, can we actually drift back down? If we fall and stay below the 100-day EMA, I'm leaning towards the downside. I'm going to take a very simplistic approach on this one. I'll try not to overcomplicate life. It's already way too complicated. So, and for the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line and a push up of the 1.6650 zone right there. If I get that, great. More buyers could join in. EURJPY. I mean, beautiful, right? So I kept on talking about this one from last week already. I said that we need a clearance of one of the sides of the range. There we go. We got a clearance. Fantastic. We tested my targets. The 100-day EMA got reached, so now I'm keeping an eye on it in order to go lower. If that gets cleared, then yes, I will go further south. But look, I do have this hurdle, this 154.37, right? But you know what? I'm not going to aim for that one straight away. I want to see how it's going to play out, because at the moment, maybe it's going to find support somewhere around here. This is a nice, good level, 155.15, and then I'll take it from there. So let's go short, slowly on this. We already had the drift lower, strong one. Let's see if this can be maintained by the bears. If not, if we start seeing a push back inside the range here, I'm gonna still keep it on the chart, because maybe the weekly candle will tell me something different. Maybe, but for now I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah, I'll if it's not gonna work, and it's not gonna work, that's fine. I'll remove it for next week. But at this point, I'm just gonna leave it, and I want to see if we're somehow, by any chance, we're gonna climb back above the 156.87 territory right here. And finally, EURUSD for dessert. Yes, continues to slide. So look, I talked about this week. I said that if we do fall and stay below the 1.0483, I'll lean towards the downside. Now, I have my arrow all the way towards the 1.0290, but I'm keeping a close eye on this little hurdle here, where we are already almost near it. So the 1.0443. I want to see if we're going to rebound from that, actually, because if we rebound, yes, maybe a push back up could be possible. But look, for the upside, I think that it's better to wait for a push up of the 1.0483 zone in order to consider a larger correction to the downside, because don't forget that we are still below this downside line drawn from the high of the 18th of July. If we do climb back above the 1.0483, or even better, 1.05, then yes, I will consider a larger correction here to the upside. But at the moment, I'm keeping a very close eye on this 1.0443. If we clear that one, yes, I'm going further south. Maybe not all the way straight away towards that 1.0290, although I like it. But maybe somewhere in the middle here could be a nice good target, but we'll get to that point. You can actually maybe aim for that 1.04 initially, and then 1.0350 or something like that, and then we'll take it from there. So yeah, guys, that's it for this session. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much. I would like to, bow down to you for joining my webinar. Really, really appreciate that. You make my life happier. And especially if you found some sort of, some sort of a useful thing in all this, what I just said. So, or maybe you just kind of somebody actually listens to webinars like this just to not to listen for ideas, but actually just listen somebody talk about the markets, have their coffee, just chill. And actually, this helps you as well. This helps your mindset. It helps to start your brain in the morning when somebody else like me is talking, and just kind of, get the ball rolling. And but look, in all this, I've talked almost for an hour, and in all this, if you manage to pick up at least one good idea, I'm very happy about this, you know, and thank you very much for killing an hour of your life with me. Thank you very much. Honestly, I really appreciate that. I know that everybody's time is very, very valuable. So thank you very much for joining. And I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. I shall see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. If you want to continue to please the trading gods, subscribe to our channel for a blessing.